Welcome to this recording for using chat. In this video, you'll learn how to use chat in Practifi. We'll cover where to find chat, how to start and manage conversations, and how to get the most useful responses. Chat is a part of relationship intelligence, which means it works alongside Smart Notes and Follow-up Assistant to give you a more complete picture of each client. Rather than looking up a single data point, you can ask chat to prepare you for an upcoming meeting, draft a client communication, or connect the threads across a relationship's financial situation, service history, and recent interactions. The assistant remembers what you've discussed within a conversation, so you can start broad, narrow in, and ask follow up questions without re explaining the context each time. Please note, chat is part of the Practifi Intelligence add-on and requires a Relationship Intelligence license. If you don't see chat in your Practifi organization, reach out to your Practifi administrator. Let's get started. Chat is available in two places in Practifi. The first is directly on an entity record. To get there, click the Chat navigation icon in the Record side panel. The Chat section displays a text input, any prompt templates your administrator has configured, and your recent and pinned conversations for that record. You can also click the navigation menu and select Chat to view the chat page. Here you can see all your conversations across every relationship in one place. The chat page shows a My Conversations header with a count of your conversations, a search bar, and a sidebar listing your pinned and recent conversations. Each conversation card displays the entity name so you can see at a glance which client it relates to. When you open chat on an entity record, you can start a conversation in two ways. You can type your question into the chat input, then press enter or click the paper plane icon. The assistant opens the conversation in a new tab and begins responding. Alternatively, you can select one of the prompt template options below the text input to start a conversation with a pre-written question. Because the assistant already knows which record you're looking at, you don't need to specify it in your question. The chat is automatically titled based on its content. There are also two ways to start chats from the chat page. You can either enter your question or select one of the prompt templates. Then you'll need to select an entity. Both the message and the related entity are required. Alternatively, you can click the New button at the top of the chat page, then select the related entity and send your message or select a prompt template. Once a conversation is underway, you can send follow-up messages to continue the discussion. The assistant remembers everything discussed earlier in the conversation and can build on previous answers, so there's no need to reestablish context as you go. In this example, the assistant has asked if I want it to generate some talking points. I'll ask it to go ahead and do this. While the assistant is generating a response, a loading indicator appears. Once the response is ready, it's displayed in the conversation thread. Here are the talking points I asked for. Responses can include formatted output, such as headings, bold texts, bulleted and numbered lists, and clickable links. Links to Practifi records open within Practifi. External links open in a new tab. Where the assistant draws on specific sources, citations appear as numbered superscripts within the response text. A full list of sources appears below the response. Click the Sources dropdown to view the full list and click any of the hyperlinks to open the source record in a new tab. Below each response, you'll see a copy icon that you can click to copy the full text of the output to your clipboard. A context usage indicator in the input area shows approximately how much of the conversation's memory has been used. As conversations grow longer, the assistant may summarize earlier messages to make room for new ones. If you're moving to a new topic, starting a fresh conversation keeps context clean and responses more focused. On the chat section of an entity record page, you'll see your pinned conversations and your 3 most recent conversations for that entity. You can click the View All button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen to open a full searchable list in a new tab. On the chat page, all your conversations appear in the sidebar grouped into pinned and recent, and the search bar lets you filter by conversation title, content, and entity name. You can pin a conversation to keep it easily accessible. Pinned conversations appear in a separate group above your recent conversations on both the entity record page and the chat page. To pin, click the caret and select Pin. It will be moved to the Pin section. The assistant generates titles automatically, but you can enter a new title by clicking the Edit button, entering a new title, and pressing Enter. To save a copy of a conversation, click the caret and select Export. This will download a plain text file containing all messages from both you and the assistant. To delete a conversation, you can click the Delete button when viewing the conversation, or click the caret and select Delete. You'll be asked to confirm this action. Deleting a conversation removes it and all of its messages permanently. When you ask a question, the assistant draws on several sources to build its responses. It can access structured CRM data about the entity, including record fields and related information. Depending on your organization's settings, the assistant may also have access to unstructured data from smart notes, traditional notes, feed posts, and email messages. The data available to the assistant is filtered by your permissions. It can only see fields and records that you can access in your Practifi organization. External sources, such as financial and industry news, may also be available depending on how your Practifi administrator has configured them. When your question spans multiple areas, the assistant synthesizes information from all available sources into a single response. To learn more about how to get the most out of chat, see our Using Chat article at success.practifi.com. You've reached the end of the vignette video for Using Chat. If you have any questions, reach out to your Client Success Manager or our Practifi support team. To learn more about Practifi, feel free to take a look at some of our other videos. Thanks for watching.